Moody and Kuminga obviously played well last game. You're bringing Gary, you're bringing Draymond back today. Just how difficult are your rotation choices today? And, however much of it you want to reveal.
None of it. There's definitely more things to consider today, given our performance the other night, given the number of people who are capable of contributing. So we definitely have some decisions to make rotationally, and you can ask me about them after the game.
Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Hi, Ramona.
Hey, I just wanted, this is obviously, I guess, technically qualifies as Silicon Valley, right? And here when you have really good software engineers, another company either buys you or tries to hire your engineers. Do you sort of feel like the Kings did that with some of their staffing and the way they're running things with Mike and Barbosa and all those guys?
I hadn't made that connection, but I'm also well aware that there's been a lot of layoffs in Silicon Valley lately, so I hope that's not an omen for our staff here. And I just think that there's a lot of synergy between the two franchises, because of Vivek being here beforehand, before he took over Sacramento, and what he learned from here. And, he was here at the beginning of, this run with Steph and Clay, and we've had a lot of connections over the years, between, Alvin Gentry, Luke Walton, obviously Mike, but, Harrison, and I'm definitely missing, LB and Luke Laux, and so there's a very strong connection, and I think it makes sense given Vivek's previous experience here.
Do you ever just kind of watch them? Sorry, I'll follow up. Do you ever see some of the plays they run or the way they play and say, hey, I know where that came from? Or do you see that influence in their style?
I think they've really built their own style. I think having Sabonis has given them sort of a fulcrum offensively, which it reminds me more of when we had Andrew Bogut, to be honest with you. And I think, and Mike Brown was not here with Bogut, so it's a little different. But some of the same concepts, the movement, the spacing, the shooting, the pace, there are a lot of similarities, but I think that's also based on personnel. They've got a lot of shooting, and they've got De'Aaron Fox pushing the tempo. They're playing the way they should play.
Steve, when you look at games 1 and 2 and the way you guys played game 3, what do you think was the biggest adjustment between 1 and 2 and then game 3, mental or physical?
Whatever you categorize taking care of the ball and rebounding. So it's probably both mental and physical, I think, right? Because it's slowing down a little bit, not being in such a rush to make great plays, just that allows you to take better care of the ball, and then having the awareness to turn and find a body when a shot goes up. So it's both.
You've bumped Steph's minutes up so far in this series, obviously with some 2 days off in between these games. How has he looked to you, just kind of accumulation, and does he look fresh, and do you think you can continue to do this?
He looks fantastic. So it's remarkable. I think it's maybe the most underrated value that Steph brings is his endurance. Everyone obviously talks about the skill, but it's the incredible endurance that allows him to utilize that skill on and off the ball, just all the running that he does, and then defending at the other end where he's been really good. It takes so much energy to do that, but he's looked great throughout.
Hi, Steve. Mike said that, back here, you don't stop Steph, you just hope to make him work as much as possible. I'm curious your assessment on the job that De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell have done on Steph so far in this series.
Yeah, they've done a good job. I mean, they're trying to put a lot of pressure on him and contain him, and that's Mike's right. I mean, that's all you can do is just try to make him work as hard as possible. That's true of all the great players in the league. You just you don't want to give them anything easy. You want to make them earn everything, make them work. So one of the reasons historically teams have gone at Steph on the other end to try to tire him out. It's not because he's a poor defender. It's because they're trying to wear him out on the offensive side, make him work. And I think that's a fairly common strategy around the league with the great players.
Good morning, back here. This is a very crucial game for you guys to be able to tie the series before heading back to Sacramento. What kind of conversations are you guys having in the locker room to keep this momentum from the last game going to this game and then moving forward to Sacramento?
Yeah, it's just, you keep things very matter of fact. Just you show the film, show the guys what they're doing well, what they need to tighten up with, remind them of the strategy, add a wrinkle or two here or there, and then just move forward. But there's not a lot of time for big philosophical discussion. It's just, here's what we need to do. Let's go do it.
Sorry. How's Jordan's ankle feeling? Like, I know that he's probably going to play and stuff, but it seems like he's been battling that for a bit. So just wondering how he's holding up.
Yeah, I asked him yesterday, and he said it was a lot better in Game 3 than it was in Game 2. Getting the extra couple of days. I think he only played 15 minutes in Game 2, and so between the lower minutes and then 2 days before the next game, he was feeling much better in Game 3, and then another couple days between games again. So he's feeling fine.
Coach Kerr, Kevon Looney definitely plays with force, consistency, knows the game real well, from that center position. Just wanted to get your thoughts of what he meant to, the Warriors system.
Everything, he's always on top of the game plan, never makes a mistake. One of the smartest players I've ever been around. He has full awareness of who he is. There's no sense of I got to be this or I got to be that or I want to do that. It's just he understands who he is and he goes out and he does his job every night. And it's crucial for us because everything that he brings we need. The screen setting, the rebounding, the passing, the dribble handoff stuff. The switching defensively, staying in front of people. He's a remarkable player who continually gets overlooked. Every year he's a free agent. Everybody overlooks him because, he doesn't shoot threes and he's not a lob catcher. It reminds me of the old, Buddy Ryan line about Chris Carter. And people were complaining, or people were asking him about Chris Carter, the wide receiver. And Buddy Ryan said, well, all he does is catch touchdowns. And everyone's like, yeah, well, isn't that the point? All Loon does is everything that helps you win. So it's the same. I guess I appreciate Loon more than Buddy appreciated Chris Carter, but it's the same concept. It's like, what helps you win? This is what helps you win, and that's what he does. And for whatever reason, I guess it's because it's not flashy and it's not sexy. People just overlook Loon over and over again.
What have you thought of Clay's series so far?
I thought the second half the other night was the template, drive and kick. He got off the ball earlier. I thought that led to some really good possessions for us, and that's what we talked about yesterday at practice and in our film session for all the guys, but definitely for Clay. Like if he gets off the ball, if he can penetrate and kick, break the defense down, and then kick it, and we get the ball moving, we're getting great looks, and that's got to continue. We can't fall into the trap of just taking a lot of quick shots. We need good ones.
Steve, can you talk just a little bit about what you saw with their DHO game with Sabonis and just how you guys went about kind of scheming for that and how important that's been so far?
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge part of their offense. He's such a great passer. And, we have experience in the playoffs, trying to take away certain things from teams that thrive on certain actions, and that's all you try to do in the playoffs is force teams to do something a little different than what they're accustomed to. So far, I think we've done a decent job of it. Not perfect, but just trying to stay physical and put a lot of pressure on the perimeter and take away the ease with which they normally get to those dribble handoffs. And we're going to have to keep going because they could break out at any moment if we let our guard down.